Hey everybody, Andy here with the Deplorable General, and I just wanted to bring you a quick public service announcement. It is summer, or spring, the weather's starting to get nice, we're going to be outside more often, and if you're anything like me, I am terribly allergic to poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. I get horrible rashes from them, and it spreads to my entire body, and so being able to identify these plants will help you to avoid being in that situation. And so I'm right here in my backyard, and in my backyard I have two examples of these plants, poison ivy and poison oak, two separate plants that I'm going to show you and kind of hopefully give you an idea on how to identify these plants, so that way you don't come into contact with them and have a crappy day. Okay, right here we have poison ivy. Okay, this is poison ivy. The characteristic of poison ivy and poison oak is that they have three leaves. There's a cluster of three leaves on one part of the stem. Typically, poison ivy doesn't grow super tall. A lot of times you'll see it, and it'll be just like this. It'll be a small plant with some leaves coming off of it. These leaves actually have a oil on them, and that oil is what causes their reaction. The oil is kind of greasy. And what happens is that when you touch it, and you touch it with your other hands or clothes or anything, that grease will spread across your skin. It will cause the reaction to come up, and it only takes a little tiny bit of the oil to cause this reaction. And so sometimes, even if you're out in the yard and you're weed eating or cutting the grass, or your dogs might run through it and you might touch them, whatever, or you just brush across it, and you end up getting the reaction. You see over here is another example. And on this, you can actually see the sheen, and that is a younger leaf, and it's got more concentrated like oil on it, and so three leaves, you can see that there's like a reddish tint. That some poisons have a reddish tint, and so again, here's a couple clusters, and then right next to it here we have poison oak, and poison oak is actually, for me, it's far worse than poison ivy. And so poison oak is actually a vine, and these leaves are a lot bigger. I mean, these leaves are about the size of my hand. They kind of have an oak-like shape to the leaf. And if you didn't know what this was, you could easily be walking through the woods and brush up against this. And there's a lot of leaves, and so you can see, like, it's really easy to not know what this is, brush against it, and again, you have a crappy day. There are actually, like, if this is in your yard or this is in your house, there are sprays that you can spray this stuff with to kill it. I recommend that over trying to pull it or yank it or cut it. A lot of people, again, out in the weed eaters or lawnmowers, will try to cut this stuff, and it will shoot the leaves and the oil all over themselves, and so then they end up getting it. Absolutely terrible stuff. I hate it. And you can just see here how this vine, and if you didn't know better, you might just think that that's just part of the tree. If you look here at these smaller leaves in here, you can see again there's that sheen that's on it. That's like a concentration of oil on the plant, on the leaf. And so I just wanted to bring that little kind of public service announcement to you. We don't have poison sumac in this area or close to us here in South Central Pennsylvania. It exists, it's just not very common. So, but this is what you're gonna run into. Most common, you're gonna run into your poison ivy down here. And then this you'll come in contact with as well. But what you're going to notice is this is on trees and stuff. So this isn't something that typically, if you're like hiking on a path, that you have to worry about too much. This is more so like if you're out camping or you're hiking through the woods. Just pay attention to this stuff, because you might not recognize it from a normal, regular part of the tree. So hopefully that helps, folks. I hate poison. I hate poison ivy. Hate poison oak. And hopefully having a chance to see this will help you to avoid it in the future. Thanks, Deplorable General. Over and out.